Let's talk about snacks, baby. Let's talk about snacking with you and me. It's snack time.
I need to admit something to you guys I've never told you before. Sometimes it's very easy for me as Snackboy to tell another person's embarrassing story and then not truly admit my own. But remember a certain group I was in when I was a kid? Not the Cub Scouts, not the Boy Scouts, no, not the Fire Makers. No, I was in the Y Indian Guides. Why? Why not? And my dad was a troop leader. You know, Ron Crummett was such a good suburban dad, and he was a troop leader, and he was the perfect dad for going into the woods and picking out that perfect stick to make into a staff, painting it red and putting all the war colors on there, hanging a couple feathers off it. And he just knew what a good staff was. And his partner in crime, Mr. Sumi, well, not too long ago, I did a snack about Mr. Sumi in the time on our Y Indian Guide hike. He had his own Blair Witch moment when his bowels released, and he diarrheaed his tight jeans. I know what you're thinking. Snackboy, you've embarrassed him once. Why do you have to do it again? Why? Well, I'm actually going to admit something. When I was in the Y Indian Guide, shortly after Mr. Sumi's diarrhea incident, where he was splattered for the day and didn't have anything to change into, I had my own potty incident with the Y Indian Guides, and it's only fair that I tell you. It's only fair. So there I was, and we had all the Mountain Dew that you could give to a Y Indian Guide kid, and I just loved it. I was on the sugar high. I was doing the trails. I was holding the map. I was talking about my favorite horror movies that I wasn't allowed to watch at the time. When I decided, and I felt it down there. My bladder was pretty full, and I drunk too much, and I knew I should have gone to the bathroom by the church van when it was parked by the porta potty, but they smell so bad. You know what porta potties are like. You open the door and you hit a mosquito, and there's like crap and newspaper and magazines and fingers, people's fingers, ketchup. I mean, porta potties are just sick. Disgusting. So I had to pee, and I was like, well, gosh, I mean, why don't I just pee here? It's the woods. But everyone was hiking, and so I tried to shout out to Mr. Sumi and my dad, who were leading the way fearlessly, boldly up this path. I was like, Daddy! But I didn't want to sound like a big brat. So I was like, Dad, I gotta pee! I can't hold it! And all the other kids were like, Dad, he's not stopping. We're marching. You can't pee during march time. We're going to be at the big rock in 10 minutes. Can't you pee in the big rock? I was like, okay, and all that peer pressure. I said to my bladder, so I said, okay, bladder, please work with me. I really have to pee, but we're not going to be to the big rock until 10 minutes, and I'll be so uncool if I make everybody stop just for my bladder. But before you know it, my bladder said something back to me. Went, too late, Terry. We have to release. The dam is bursting. The water gates are opening. It's too late. Oh no, what had I done? I peed myself. My jeans looked yellow. Oh, all my shorts were stained, and I could watch. It was warm, and I could feel its warmth going down my leg. Oh, the stain was getting bigger, and I didn't know what to do. And then I looked down at my hands, and I had a brilliant plan. So far, none of my marching peers had seen my urine shame. I looked at my Mountain Dew. I looked at my spreading seat, and I said, there's only one thing you can do, Terry, and do it quick. I pretended to trip on a rock, and I went, and I poured my Mountain Dew all over my front. All over me. I went, oops, oops. All the kids stopped marching. The troop leaders, my father, Ron Crummett, Deacon of Clifton Park, and Mr. Sumi, post-diarrhea, they turned and they saw me, and they were like, Terry, what's wrong? And I said, nothing, gang. I just spilled some Mountain Dew on myself. And all the kids looked at my crotch suspiciously. You know, I mean, that's kind of when you're that age and everyone's looking at your crotch at the same time. It's very traumatic. So for that moment, time stopped. and I had the little devil on one shoulder going, they know it's pee! You might as well admit it now! They know it's pee! And on my shoulder, the angel went, oh, Terry, playing its little harp. They didn't know you peed yourself. They think it's a little sprig of Mountain Dew. Nothing to worry about here. Keep marching to the rock. La, 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 la. And I came back, and they all said, oh, it's just Mountain Dew, no big deal.